start by saying, no shade to boarding houses or anything like that anywhere. This is my personal experience and how I personally felt about it and how I felt about just everything regarding. With that being said, let's go straight into the video. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so straight off the bat, first con to living in a boarding house is obviously the price. Now, included in my boarding house, there was like breakfast foods, but it was kind of off-brand little breakfast foods, and then for dinner you did get to go for dinner, but that also was mediocre average food. It wasn't like they put in the effort. It cost $600 a month, and you had one single bedroom to yourself, yes, and an ensuite, but like it wasn't big. And when I say single bedroom, I mean single bed, desk, the most basic you can think of. And I thought, yeah, it wasn't what I would have wanted to spend my money on, but I chose to board, so that is on me. I think if you choose to board, that is you taking everything under the belt and being like, okay, but at the same time, price was way up there. That is a con for me, I'm sorry. Okay, and the second con is obviously the small bedrooms. I'm sorry, you're paying $600 a month, and for what? The bedrooms were literally the most basic things. My legs stuck off the end of the bed. Like this isn't even going to be a long like video because it's obvious. It is. Imagine paying that much and getting a bed which doesn't even count as a single bed. I'm sorry, and you would be locked. This is going to come into another con, but you would be locked in the bedroom from 10, and it was a small confined space, and it was not ideal in the slightest. Not for me. I went from having a double bed at home to having a single bed, but paying for this single bed. Like, no. Okay, third is all about times. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's kind of, you had to wake up for like a register at 8 on weekdays and 12 on not weekdays, but you had to be downstairs at 8 to be registered every morning. I understand that, unless you have college until 1 in the afternoon, then that's stupid. However, now I say college at 1 in the afternoon, you had to leave the boarding house at 9, regardless of when your lesson was. Like, you weren't allowed back into the house until 12, regardless of whether you had a lesson until the afternoon. Like, they did not care. That was get out time. That was, if you're not down here, you will be punished. Like, you will have chores. Like, they once made me vacuum because I did not meet these time standards. Another thing is curfew. Curfew was 10 p.m, which is all well and good unless you have a job that ends after 10, or you will be 18 during these college years and you do not want to be going to bed at 10. Like, I hated it because my curfew had not been 10 since about year 9. My mum was very, very chill and I could go home whatever time I wanted. However, I did move from like a small village without any danger. I do understand why there's curfews, but at the same time, for me, paying to go to bed at 10, 10:30 on a weekend was not the one. It was not cricket for me. I did not really enjoy it. No, I couldn't. That was one of the worst things for me because it wasn't just you had to be inside for 10, it was you had to be in your bedroom for 10, and the corridors would get locked, and once it was locked, you were not leaving without setting off an alarm. Like, you were not leaving. Okay, next one is kind of not allowing people, like certain people into your room. So, because I'm a girl, I was allowed girls from my corridor in my room. So the way it was like corridor stacked. Like, the building was like layers of rooms, obviously, and you're allowed girls from your floor in your room. However, you were not allowed boys in your room. Like, whether they went to the boarding house or not, you were not allowed boys in your room. Like, I think you could get kicked out for having a boy in your room. Like, you would get told off, but like, if you had somebody who didn't live in the house in your room, you would get like kicked out. Like, you could not have people who weren't attending the boarding house in your room. You could not go across to the boys' side of the thing. You could not have any of you didn't live there in your room. I think at age 17 to 18, 16 to 18. I turned 17 very early in the year because I'm a November baby. But I think that is a ridiculous rule. I think for me, no. Like, you had to sign people in to let them into the building. So I don't understand why, once they're signed in, they've been put down, they cannot then come into your bedroom, especially if it's like young people from your college, like the college whose boarding house this is, they were not allowed past a certain threshold. Like, they could come in the common room and in the garden. That was it. Okay, another con, which I think if you're around my age or a teen, is probably up there, is Wi-Fi blocks. So basically, although we had Wi-Fi, you could not go on Snapchat. I'm about to have dinner. You could not go on Snapchat. You could not watch Netflix until 6 p.m. You could not go on Gmail. All of these blocks that you have to get a VPN for. So it's not that bad because you can use a VPN, but the VPN buffers and there's lots of things that just aren't perfect about the Wi-Fi. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this might not be all, but this was mine. And in addition to the Wi-Fi, the signal was blocked. Like, in the building there was no service. Like, you had to stand outside if you wanted to make a phone call or do anything. Like, that was one of the things that irritated me. Like, the Wi-Fi went off at 12, which drove me up the wall because I know college work and all of this, but at the same time, as a 16/17-year-old, I'm not going to bed at 12. I'm sorry. Like, at least not every night. Like, weekends, I mean, come on. Like, I think that was kind of ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. Just the bans on Wi-Fi, it was everything that wasn't, unless it was Outlook, which was like what we email on for college, you could not. Like, there was no point trying. Like, just dumb stuff. Like, you could send iMessages, that's about it. The last and maybe worst negative was the laundry room. The laundry room. You would put your washing in the washing machine, and Kevin from down the hall would get his stuff. He would take your stuff, your wet stuff, out of... Okay, fair enough. No, that's wrong. You would take your stuff out of the washing machine, put it in the dryer. Kevin would then come along, take your wet stuff out of the dryer, which is on and it is still turning, and he would put his wet stuff in and leave your wet stuff on top to go damp. That was the biggest pet peeve. I could not. But people had, like, no respect. Like, it was... If it's not theirs in the washing machine, ruthless. They would take it out, put theirs in. Like, and you would do this back and forth until one time this guy kept on doing it. Like, every time I'd return to the laundry room, he'd have taken my stuff out, and I wrote on a piece of paper and I was like, I dare you to take my stuff out again. Like, I need this for tomorrow. Like, my work clothes, like, in there. People had, like, no respect in the laundry room. Your stuff would get poured around. It was shambles. Your stuff would be left on the floor. People would knock it. People would mix it up with other people's. It was just annoying. People, like, some people had, like, things go missing, but, like, that never happened to me, I don't think. It was just a bit of an anal thing. Like, the audacity to come and take my stuff from the washing machine? No. Next positive is having a cleaner. Having somebody to clean your space. That was nice. That was once a week or once every 2 weeks, I don't know. She would come around and clean, vacuum. She was a lovely lady as well. Obviously I don't have that at home, and it's just nice. Like, although you would have to keep on top of your own bedroom day to day, it was nice to have somebody just come and do, like, the deep cleaning. Yeah, that was good. She was lovely, and she'd clean all the areas, like the corridors, everywhere. She would clean, and she was really, really lovely. Like, I remember she once brought, like, a stool into my bedroom because I didn't have, like, I don't know, a stool next to my desk, and I was really sad about it. And, like, she would just do, like, nice little things. Like, I know that sounds trivial, but she was lovely in that aspect, you know? And that was just nice. Although we did have to leave the house while she was cleaning, which was quite irritating, but generally positive. Okay, another positive that I know not all boarding houses have is en-suites. Our bedrooms each had their own little bathroom with a little sink, toilet, shower. So there were none of, like, the communal showers. You'd have to share your, like, conditioner or soap or anything. That was quite nice. and it was like you had your own little space. Like, although the space wasn't perfect, you had your own little space and you could kind of do what you wished. You weren't allowed to paint, but you could put like bunting. Like, I had this bunting up and stuff like that. Like, you could do really kind of cool stuff in your room, and it was like your area, and as long as it wasn't messy, they didn't mind. You could have food in your room as long as you like took it down, which was another positive to like having your own little area. You could opt to share rooms, I believe, but like actually no, they ran out of those rooms when I wanted to. Pain. But in general, you have your own space, own desk, own everything. Was there a closet? There was a closet, so there was like ample space, like storage space. You had like drawers, closet, desk and shelves, and like you just had plenty of room. That was good. Another positive, I don't know if this really counts, but because of how close it was to the college, you could just come back at lunchtime and like bring friends with you. You could play the Wii and just chill, whereas other students I know would have to like either sit outside or go to the park because they didn't live close enough. Whereas not only was it a short trip to college and back, so that was quite easy, but you could just go in there and chill and, you know, spend time with people. And you were allowed people into the common room and into the garden, and there were like benches in the garden. There were footballs, and it was just like all around nice. I quite like that. Yeah, that's good. Like a short but sweet one. Just generally being able to like spend time there and chill. Yeah. I think my final one, and this kind of comes under like the social aspect, was we would have like game nights, like fun kind of game nights that like the house parents would kind of set up, and we play like Monopoly and fun things and like quizzes and just stuff like that, which I thought was generally like lovely. Like, I'm very, very competitive. There's this one competition thing that me and my friend both got into, and we both insisted that we win. There was this big argument, but like bar that, it was really kind of fun just generally being able to do stuff, because I love doing stuff with my friends. And when you live with people who like you enjoy their company, you don't have to like travel out to see friends. You can just have fun, chill, play, and like I don't know, we just have like bingo nights and things like that I thought was quite fun. Like, and it was optional, like you didn't have to, but it was always better if you did, because it was like, you know, fun. Like, why not? Like, I know we're obviously old, but it is nice to have like fun, chill game nights. So we did do some movie nights, but the movies were always kind of PG, which was a pain, because I don't know, that's not really what you want to be watching in college. But like, I understand why, because I guess it's a have to, it's a must do, it's a safeguarding thing. But you know, and that is, yeah, I think that's the last positive. I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't too keen on boarding myself, but like I've thrown those positives out there. So if you do want to try it, like, and you do like the sound of it, go for it. Alright, so that just about sums up my opinion on boarding. That's kind of, well, it's not my opinion, that sums up everything that I think of as a pro and a con of boarding. You might see it differently, you might go to a different boarding house, it might be completely different where you go. But for me, that was how it was. That's what I liked, and what I didn't like, that's just about it for me. I personally don't think I want to go back to something like that. Like, obviously, I'm in my second year of college, so I probably won't go back now, but I wouldn't do it again. I might feel like temporarily, because like it is fun, but like no, not in the long term. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if my face kind of dropped towards the end of that. I hope you have a great day.